Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. This is Raw Cloud. Today, I'm going to tell you about another timeline jump that I went to. This was actually another version of Earth. Now, I told you that certain timelines um, will be different. Won't always be the same. Look, I was so disappointed in that last timeline that I went to, where I went to pass a message, and that version of me in that timeline basically was killed. Like I said, I was very disappointed. I went back. Once I got back here, it stuck with me. What I didn't tell you too is that when I got shot in my lower back in that timeline that I jumped to, I felt it when I got back here. I felt that bullet, that pain in my back. So I said, the gloves have to come off. The gloves have to come off, and I have to start living up to who I am. It was disappointing for me to tell you guys that, but I said I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not going to hold back on things that do not go right when I make these jumps. Of course, when I'm utilized in the military, of course, I got these altars that are programmed to assist me with these certain abilities that I have. I'm more connected and I have a more military mind. Uh, when working with these other groups, we're more heart-centered. We don't like to cause a lot of casualties, but I need to stay focused. So the guy in the comment section that left me that message, look, I appreciate it, man. It was more like a pep talk of me staying focused, me going back into meditation, me training. And that's exactly what I did. I went to another timeline where I can manifest and train. But here's the thing now. I went into a timeline, like I said, it's not like how we conduct here. I told you things may be different. Now, we know in this timeline, they talk about the reptilian genetics within the human genome, right? In this timeline, this was human and avian genetics. We all look the same, human, okay? Didn't matter what color you are. It's just like here, but instead of having the reptilian genetics, it's the avian, the human genetics, okay? Still look like humans. You can never tell that we had avian genetics. This was the timeline where the law of oneness timeline. And I knew nothing about this timeline until I went there. So let's just say we have been lied to for so long. And it takes people like me to be able to jump to certain timelines and see exactly how it really is. The history here is all lies, or the history is just watered down, or it's inverted altogether. That timeline was raw. It's the law of oneness, our timeline, but we still happen to have human experience, just like this timeline. Okay, now when I pop in, I'm in a relationship with this girl, and I think she's mixed. She looked more black, but I think she's mixed. But I can tell that we have avian genetics within um, our human DNA. Like we have that. I can tell that that's what it was. And my place is more like a tree house. It's more like a tree house, but it's built like how we have our homes, but it's up off the ground. And there's a tree holding it up. Nothing different. Very nice apartment that I lived in, but it was a tree house. Um, Now, I'm bringing this conscience in to this new place that I've never been. Not me, not this version of me. I don't think I ever visit this place. If I did, I don't remember it. But this girl that I'm with, very cute, very sexy. But like I said, it's the law of oneness, where relationships are pretty much open. And I have friends that come over, and look, guys, I don't pull any punches. And I tell you what happened. So I have guy friends that come over, and I think I'm a little bit younger in that timeline. And she began to, you know, she was fully clothed, but this younger black guy, he came in and he sat on, my couch, and she began to ride his face. Look, I told you how I am. I'm going to tell you what it is. And she began to ride his face. He was fully clothed and she was fully clothed. And the guy, I think he acted like he never had sex a day in his life, the way he was acting. And I think she picked up on that little animosity that I had. But remember, this is this timeline conscience, and I'm seeing this. But my conscience in that timeline was telling me to calm down. This is the law of oneness. This is how it works there, where everything is pretty much open, and it's not an issue. The only issue was me, that conscience that I brought there, and I think she picked up on that because I think we're a little bit more empath. We can pick up on energy a little bit quicker than what it is like here. It's not like we communicate telepathically, but it's better than how it is here. We're more in tune with emotions. So, and he's laying on his back, and I think the guy's pretty much, I am. I'm going to tell you, it's a little bit graphic, but I think he pretty much climaxed in his pants. So, once that was done, I think she had to leave and go to work. Guys, what it is very different when it comes to certain timelines. So, I want you guys to know everything. So that's why I'm telling you how it is when it comes to timeline. It wasn't an issue. I was the issue. This conscience was the issue. Me seeing that was the issue. It's not an issue worldwide over there for them to act like that. This is the law of oneness, where everybody is in tune with each other. There's no animosity. There's no fighting. There's no nothing but unity and love. It's not like it is here where you in a relationship, and if you see that, because really over here, I would have wrung both of their necks. It would have been a major issue over here if I had seen that done with this conscience. And I think that is the kind of conscience that we are trying to reach, where it's unified, but it's going to take a while. We might not understand it now, but I think there's a purpose of me going there to train and bring this information back to you guys so that you can understand how certain timelines are not like this timeline. So anyway, once she leaves, she go to work. I can tell that she picked up on that animosity. I don't think that she didn't know that I was not that guy. I was not that version of me. So she left, and my friends stayed, and I had more guys that came over. Now, once she left, I had in my mind all I wanted to do was train, and the little guy that got his face red. Uh, I'm looking at him, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, man, I could tell this guy never had sex a day in his life. Uh, just how he was acting. But nevertheless, he was a friend of mine in that timeline, and that's how things worked over there. So I started psychically training, moving things around with my mind, picking things up. Um, and we worked these energies for a while. It was more or less me showing them how to work these energies. Um, so we did this. I did this. I showed them at least for about 30 minutes to an hour. And let's see, this guy was a short black guy, and there was another guy that was a white guy. He was there too, and at some point they had to leave. But I also had another friend coming, and I picked up on that. So I went to my window. I looked out, and like I said, you guys, we're in a treehouse. My home is pretty much a treehouse. This is the avian law of oneness. And in this timeline, we're going through a human experience, just like how it is here with this reptilian. But here, there's reptilian within the genetics here. There's no reptilian genetics there in that timeline. So I go to the window, and I see him coming, and I begin to, he didn't know it. So I picked him up psychically, and there's girls walking his way. So I started to, toy with him. So girls walking his way, and he's coming, up the street my way. And I just floated him up and down, and he didn't know that it was actually coming from me. And he's looking at these girls walking his way, and he's feeling, kind of embarrassed. I could see the look on his face. He's feeling embarrassed. And I'm just having fun with him. So I lift him up. I psychically lift him up and bring him back down. It was like I was bobbing him up and down until I brought him up to, where he can get up on my porch, my deck. And once he got up on that the porch, I came back here. I went there because I was so disappointed in what happened in that other timeline, to train, to psychically train. So this is the mode that I'm in. And like I said, I may go into timelines just like that. And I want you guys to understand, I think the whole purpose, my whole soul mission, is to let you guys know about how these timeline works. And you have to be open-minded when you go into certain timelines. And I'm learning along the way as I do this. And I think it's important, for my training here as well, is to understand that not all timelines are going to be linked the way that this Earth timeline is. Like I said before, in past timelines, you may go into a timeline where still you, but you look totally different. You may have some of the same features that you have in this timeline, but you could only have one eye in the middle of your forehead. You could go into a cyclops timeline. You can go into a version where, like I said, you may have dragon and wolf timeline. I've been there. Um, there are many versions of timelines that you may go into, but when I go into on these other missions, now that wasn't a mission. That was just my personal going there to train, finding a timeline where I can manifest my psychic abilities. This version of timeline has you're just supposed to go through this human experience and see what it's like, and elevate Earth back into the unified conscience of oneness. This particular Earth timeline, and of course, we all have different missions here, but we are pieces to a bigger puzzle, and we have to, make those pieces fit, because we all are important. It's very important that we get this information. Don't When I tell you things, don't get so disappointed if things don't work out when it happened. I will continue to train from this moment on to make sure that does not happen again. I don't need to be getting taken out. I need to work on my psychic abilities. I need to hold myself accountable for these things. Man, I was so focused last night that I started watching even the old Star Wars movies, the old Jedi movies, because I don't want that to happen again. I really don't. And I felt like, if I stay on top of my game, it won't happen. It won't happen. So anyway, I don't want to drag this video on. Look, guys, I appreciate all the love and support you guys are doing. You sending James Rink love, you sending me love. I really appreciate it. We are sending that love right back to you. Hopefully everything works out at this conference, but I'm definitely going to be on my toes for things that may occur. So I'm going to stay focused. For the person that told me to stay focused, meditate, hey man, I'm on point now, and I'm going to keep it that way. So anyway, I love, honor, respect all of you guys. Have a good day.